Here is a 2023 Toyota Crown Limited in black exterior with black leather. This is the sweet spot if you're looking for a luxury driving vehicle that has replaced the Avalon. If you're looking for the performance variant, you'd want to go to the Platinum trim, which will change out this eCVT transmission to a 6-speed automatic transmission, gives a little bit more performance, and it also changes the suspension. I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides. What I like about the Crown to start off with is you're getting Lexus components. With the LED bi-projected headlights and LED daytime running, that's standard. When you get into the Limited and the Platinum, quad LED projected headlights and daytime runnings. Resembling the Prius for the top part, and on the lower, wide mouth grille that's opened up on the lower trim, satin aluminum front parking sensors, and nearly 6 inches of clearance. This is between a crossover and sedan, which is the first of its kind. So it's going to sit up a little bit higher because of the way the seat position is. Lower center of gravity, but it's still a true sedan. Optioning the Platinum will change out the suspension to dynamic dampers, so you can get a two-tone look either on the Limited or the Platinum, and it also gives you 340 horsepower instead of the standard 236 horsepower out of the 2.5 liter 4-cylinder hybrid engine with 3 electric motors. 19-inch wheels is what we have, and this is a standard. You can option a 20-inch wheel. The Platinum increases to a 21-inch wheel. Matte black around the fenders and the lower trim with the chrome surrounding the window treatment, and it just drifts off and it gives a hatchback design, even though this is a true sedan, which in this category I kind of wish they went hatch because it would have opened up cargo and a little bit more headspace. The panel moonroof will be an option on the Limited trim, and it's standard on the Platinum. 42 mpgs for the city, 41 mpgs for the highway on the eCVT transmission, whereas the Platinum, 6-speed automatic transmission. The big question, was this a good replacement for the Avalon? Well, if you're looking at the TRD, that's going to be a little bit more athletic and sporty, especially for the Exit. It's not a hybrid. But if you're wanting to capture the essence of the Crown, which when this vehicle came out, this was the Lexus variant for Toyota. It wasn't until years later when the Toyota team came to California, they decided we want to make a luxury vehicle to compete with Mercedes-Benz and BMW. And that's when they came out with the Lexus, when they finally discontinued the Crown. So coming back to the nameplate, I think that they hit it right on the head. Standard LED taillights, the light bar integrates into the Toyota badging, the Crown script that's going to be underneath the grille pattern. In the lower, it's a hybrid. I'm not expecting to see exhaust, so I like that they added the satin aluminum, rear parking sensors, and a reverse camera. The center part here also is sculpted where it looks like they just kind of integrated it in, keeping the Japanese heritage in the Crown. Cargo at 15.2 cubic feet underneath the floor. Gets a spare tire, split fold the rear bench at a 40-60 split in the back, and that will increase the cargo to the Crown. This is the new hybrid. We need to go inside and start it up so you can hear that engine. Ten-way power seat adjustment for the driver, 8-way power seat adjustment for the passenger, memory for the driver, heated and ventilated front seats, leather wrapped front seats. Headroom, not an issue, and I'm 6'3". Leg space, the same thing. You have a deep footwell for both the driver and the passenger. It is more driver focused, that's why we have the cutoff here, and we get the gold trim that's going to wrap around the air vents and through the center of the dash. Gloss black will take over. 2 digital screens, 12.3 inch with navigation, wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Sirius XM with 360L, Wi-Fi hotspot. Put it into reverse and we got a reverse camera. Full trajectory, it does not expand out to the whole size of the screen. The Platinum and Limited get the 11-speaker JBL audio sound system. The XLE will get a 6-speaker audio sound system. Climate control standard, Limited and Platinum dual climate control settings, QI wireless charging pad, USB ports, and an area for the key fob for the new Crown. The gold carries on to the gear lever, driver mode select. When you change it on the 12.3 digital cluster, you can see sport, normal, and eco, and it can go through an array of information for the driver. Leather wrap steering wheel, multi-function with adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist, the stocks, and the push button start. Ambient lighting will be on the limited and the platinum trim. With the pano roof standard on the platinum, it's going to be more soft where you need it to be, and it opens up two ways: for the passenger with a sliding tray, and for the driver side. The door panels integrated together with this matte black that keeps the pattern that goes underneath. One touch up and down for all the windows, soft to touch and pretty much everywhere. On the lower, bottle holder or cup holder that's carved out. For the back seats, headroom, if I sit back, it's all right, because it is carved out for you. As you're noticing, it kind of slopes and gives a little bit of a bulge in front of the panel moonroof. Leg space is going to be optimal as well. The floor is not completely flat. Storage behind both of the front seats, air vents, USB ports, soft to touch with the cup holders. Fold this up for later on, and the door panel starts with the JBL sound system. Everyday materials, but it's soft where it needs to be. Heated rear seats, and I like that the switch is here, so you don't have to bother anybody when I'm sitting into the center. Storage, you're gonna fit one beverage. Sliding over, feet space, not a problem. Butt space, the same thing. But headroom is going to be a little bit more difficult because you have to slide downwards because of this bulge, which will make the leg space a little bit less optimal, and you will be sharing a little bit more feet space. 236 horsepower out of the 2.5 liter 4-cylinder hybrid engine. They got stickers all over the car, it's hard to see. Here's the performance. And you can get that 0 to 60 in 7.6 seconds, which is going to be nearly 2 seconds slower than the 2.4 liter 4-cylinder turbo max engine. Here is not going to be as athletic, and it also options the eCVT transmission, but you're getting great MPG. So you have to sacrifice whether you're wanting performance or you're wanting the everyday blend with great MPGs. Because they discontinued the Avalon, which the TRD would be a lot more athletic than this, it's a tough question that is always going to be popping up. What do you think's better, the Avalon or the Crown? They're two completely different vehicles, even though the Crown has the performance variant. And what I mean by that, this is coming out of heritage of the beginning of luxury for Toyota. You're going to receive more Lexus inside and outside, and it's going to have more of a butter smooth suspension unless you option the Max, which will give you the dynamic dampers. That's going to take me to some pros and cons. Starting off with the pros. For Toyota, they have just moved themselves up to another level because they've pretty much given a Lexus badged with Toyota. Some other pros about the vehicle: it's a blend between a crossover and a sedan, which has not been done yet. So comparing this against the new Honda Accord Hybrid, that's going to sit extremely lower. The exterior is going to mimic the Euro design for a hatchback, where here they kept the traditional Japanese heritage with a bit of a hatchback style, but a true sedan, which takes me to a negative. You do lose headroom in the front and the rear. The pano moonroof is also pushed back. It doesn't start to here. So like my palm is hitting my nose. What I'm meaning is if you're not 6'3", you're gonna sit here and you're not even gonna be able to enjoy a pano moonroof because of the design that they've done. It has a lower center of gravity. You have nearly 6 inches of clearance. So for maneuverability purposes, it's good. And for dynamics, you just go up to the next tier. Very similar to the new Honda Accord, except you can get everything more or less from the Platinum in the limited trim. Whereas when you get into the Honda Accord, say you want to get the Sport L Hybrid, which is the sweet spot for MPGs, you're not going to receive everything that's on the Touring because you have to go up to the next tier levels in order to get the options. You can't option anything. With the Toyota Crown, you can still option things in the limited trim. Standard bi-LED projected headlights is coming out of the Lexus. Turn radius at a stop point is going to receive about 2.5 lanes. Let's rock and roll. So you keep up with the traffic, and that's what I mean by going into this tier. You're not going to really sacrifice. I mean, when you're in a 7 to under 8 second 0 to 60, every vehicle is doing that unless you start going up the trim. It's gonna take me to some cons. The price does start making people question, should I even go to Crown or go to Lexus? Lexus is gonna give you better warranty. Here, you're gonna get better MPGs. Similarities in the interior, you will have more cargo capacity here. The butter smooth suspension is going to be right at the same. Some other cons about the vehicle is it does have a little bit more firm materials. Headroom in the back, you have to sit back like this in order to actually sit if you're 6'3" or anything over 6 foot tall. For the front occupants, you sit close to the windscreen, and if you're shorter, you're gonna sit even closer. The good thing though is the way they have positioned the windscreen or the windshield, you can see the lights and everything in front of you very good. The A-pillars are thin, so very similar to the new Honda Accord, and I like this a touch better than the Honda Accord because I like the Sport L hybrid. But you can't get every single option on that vehicle, and you can't option any features. With the Crown, you can still option features, which I like that a little bit more in Toyota because you really have just 3 trim levels and you can option features. So if you don't want to have dynamics and you want that everyday drive with luxury, you go the limited trim. It just makes sense. You can option bigger wheels. The 19-inch wheels is something that I would personally put on the Limited, but I have driven with the 21-inch wheels. It doesn't necessarily change the McPherson strut front suspension and multi-link rear suspension that much in the sense of feeling imperfections in the road, even though the tire size is bigger, therefore giving you a smaller sidewall for the tire. It still soaks up most of the imperfections in the road. You will receive more MPGs on the Sport L hybrid for the Honda Accord. You'll hear the engine a little bit less in the Crown because it does more of an EV type driving where you're just doing more of a hybrid. So I like that they're doing more like the Prius, but when the engine does get engaged, it is going to be a little bit louder than the Honda Accord, especially if you give it full throttle. The seat is going to be just as comfortable in this as the Accord, and it's a little bit more wide for the front occupants. For the back seat, I like that you get the heated rear seat button on the door panel, whereas on the Accord, you have to go up the tier in order to get it. It's going to be stationed in the center. Both is not going to have a flat floor, and both of them are going to have a wider interior. It's just for backseat occupants, the headroom will be just a touch better on the Accord, even though it's a slope roof design. But let me know what you think in the comments. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Check out the next video, merchandise, website, and Instagram. Leave a comment and a like. And I'd like to thank Stadium Toyota for giving us this 2023 Toyota Crown Limited for our car review.